Michelle and I went to sushi restaurants in Marina Del Rey. We call it sit in the box, where you kind of put your feet in the ground, and we're laughing. We're like, oh my God, like we need to be practicing like how to get up and down from this thing, because like it's not easy, right? And you can't do it gracefully. And we're not the skinniest, lightest people ever, right? So we have to be very like kind of discreet, and we kinda, like, get our feet out slowly, and then we turn. It's terrible. It's like I was like, "God, this is a horrible place to go on a date if you're gonna try, like, for the first time, because whoever's gonna be with you across the table will be like, 'Oh god,'
It's funny
like."
how you, like, even trying to get down on the ground. I have bad knees, and so I'm, like, trying to, like, sit, but you, like, end up, like, flopping down on the
Yeah,
ground,
and then
and
it's
then
like
you
it's
can't get your feet out, and then you, like, roll out at the end.
and then you're
Yeah, I
worried
would
about,
n
like, whale
oh
tails
my
coming on the
god.
back, like, your pants sagging down. You're like, "Oh god, who did I just flash?" Like, that's
Oh,
terrible.
the first time I went there, I didn't know that it was a sit in the box and you had to take your shoes off. Well, I was
Oh, yeah.
wearing ballet flats, so I didn't have socks on, and they're like, "Okay, take your shoes off," and I'm like, "Oh my god." I've been wearing these shoes without socks for, like, 10 hours. I'm sure my feet smell so bad that I was literally like,
How's that
"Sh
sanitary?
should I?" Well, I was
I
like,
know.
"Maybe I won't eat here. Like, maybe I
Oh,
should leave because I'm gonna
oh,
take my." I don't know how stinky my feet are right now,
yeah,
and I don't wanna offend the rest of the restaurant with, like, BO
nasty
feet,
feet.
right? So
But,
I was
like
like
but, honestly, I thought about that too, like,
it's
how is that
gross.
sanitary?
I know, but I do love that place. It's
People are
so
taking
good.
their shoes off and walking around even on bare feet.
I
Like,
know.
how
Yep.
is that sanitary?
It's not, but it's delicious.
Yeah, it is delicious.
And it is funny to watch people get in and out. It's great people watching.
Because you're just like but let me tell you, there's some people there that do it very finesse-ish and look great doing it, and you're like, "Damn, damn." So when we go sit, I'm like, "Can we sit like that corner table way in the back?" Where no one can see you get out of this friggin' thing, because it's not easy, it's terrible,
That's gonna
and
be
now
my
they
new
have this.
yoga goal. Every time I'm at yoga, I'm gonna be like, "Get in the sushi box."
Well, I told Michelle, it's like it's becoming that age where you see it on TV, like, "The best thing you can do is practice getting up and down from the floor," and I was like, "Oh, shit, am I there now?" Like, I gotta practice getting up and down, so if I fall, I can get myself up, I guess, I don't know.
That's so funny. I was literally at the gym at Orange Theory the other day, and we were doing all of these hard workouts, and told myself halfway through it, I'm like, "The hardest part of this damn workout is getting on and off the floor." Like, this is the hardest part, is getting down on the mat, getting up off the mat, getting down on the mat, because 'cause you're like, "Oh god, he's sitting here and doing that." It's so funny. So my daughter turned 27 yesterday, which is, I know, oh my god, bonkers though, because 'cause I'm still 27 in my
That's
head.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, you're
literally.
like, "Oh my god, like, I'm not young,"
Yeah,
but we are,
I
but we're
can't be
not.
27 if she is, which I don't know about you, but 27 and 28, like, I just think about those were great years. Like, I genuinely enjoyed my late 20s a lot, and I think 28 because I graduated nursing school and I, like, found my career. It's just a very monumental age for me that I still identify as that age in my head. So to have my kid turn that, I'm like, wait, that means I can't be 27 anymore if my kid is 27, right? So we go out to dinner and, she's like, well, I'm almost 30. And I was like, no, you're not. But then I was kind of like, well,
You are?
shit, you kind of are, right? Which I feel like I didn't have my 30th birthday all that long ago. It's just so weird. And mind you, I
Yeah.
know I'm a young mom, but it feels so crazy. So we were talking about just random stuff, and my 19-year-old
She's your
says,
oldest, right?
she's the oldest, yeah, and the 19-year-old said we were talking about his friend got a motorcycle, and he just wrecked his motorcycle and broke his arm within 2 months of getting the thing. And we were talking about other stuff, and Landon goes, I think I'd be interested in skydiving. Would you guys ever find that interesting?" And my husband and I both said at the same time, like, "Yeah, at one point we did, but now we understand there's so much in life to, like, lose out on when you die, right?" And we were like, when you're 19, the idea of it going bad is just not a thing. You're invincible, right? You're like an invincible human, right? But by the time you're in your 40s and 50s, exactly like you were talking about earlier, everybody has shit going on. Like, someone has an aging parent, we have aging parents, someone has someone who just went through something. Like, you realize how much more like, life shit is
Mortality.
happening.
Your
Yes!
mortality is in your face, is
Your
literally what it
mortality
is.
is in your face so much more than it used to in your 20s, right?
It's
So
kinda like when I was actually suturing and using my hands more for work, like skiing. Like, I was like, "Oh, no, I can't go skiing because if I fall down and I break my leg or break my arm, forget it. Like, I'm not gonna be able to sew." Like, and there I can't work. I'm like, "I can't not do," you know what? And when you're 19, 20, you don't think about that. You don't think about falling and breaking your arm, and then you don't feel about, "Oh, what kind of insurance do I have? And do I have a deductible? And did I pay my monthly premium?" And, like, I gotta go to an in-network doctor because I can't afford the out-of-network doctor, and where am I gonna go now, you know? Like, you think about these things. That's exactly what I thought about with this whole thyroid thing. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to do this, and what's my copay gonna be?" And, like, all that stuff. You don't think that when you're 20, 19 years old and you're your parents' insurance.
no,
Like,
not at all. He's not even thinking about what if I had to not work right now. He'd be like, "Meh, mom and dad will figure it out. I live at home. We're good." Yeah, that's so crazy. It's even interesting to hear the way the 27-year-old talks about life is different than the way the 19 because she's starting to catch on to responsibilities and things like that, right? Which is so crazy.
I think for me, I think my best years were my 30s because everything happened kinda late for me. Like, I graduated from PA school, gosh, how old was I? I graduated in 2005, so I was older for the PA class because I kinda did a little bit of a roundabout way, and I finally got there, so it's okay. Things happen late, which is fine. You do you. You do it when you wanna do it, and it'll fall into place, right? So everything kinda happened in my 30s where I met Chad, and he was late 30s. So it was kinda like my mid-30s, I think, was probably my best years. I kinda felt like, "Okay, I kinda get this thing going now." I was in career, and I liked what I did. I still was super energized and super in love with my job. I loved waking up at dark 100 and doing what I did for 12 to 14-hour days and doing it again the next day, like, no big deal, you know? Still trying to go out on Thursday, it's weird.
Did you it's I heard you say, and I said the same thing, is that best part of what we identify with is when things fell into place. And it's funny how our career falling into place is part of that, right? Like your true identity became who you are when your PA portion was done and you found your role. Like you found like that missing piece. For me, that was labor and delivery. Like I knew who I was as I mean, I was growing into who I was as a person, but clicking into that professional role just really made me feel more well-rounded. Like this is who I am and this is my confidence behind who I
Right, and I felt like it not only identified me, but it actually made me who I was, but that's what I was supposed to do. It's weird, like, I felt like that's where I was supposed to be. For the majority of the time, I really felt like I don't know if I'd wanna do anything else. I don't know if I'd be okay doing anything else and or be happy doing anything else, and I think it's very rare. You look at Chad's parents, I mean, it's not like they loved going to work every day. It's not like they loved their job, but they knew that they needed to work. I would say that probably for my mom and for my aunt, and I think honestly for, like, a bunch of the people, when they work, they gotta work. They've gotta work, they've gotta make a salary, they've gotta support their families, whatever, so I think it's very, few and far between when people actually love what they do, and I love what I do. I loved being a PA. I felt so much happier knowing that that profession existed, and I was able to be that person that it fulfilled me medicine-wise. I wasn't a doctor. I wasn't making gazillion dollars. I wasn't the one saying, "Hey, this is why you're coming to see me because I'm going to fix you." It wasn't that at all, but it was the people interaction and everybody that I met and knowing that I touched everybody in a certain way, that either was good or bad, right? It was either a positive or negative experience. Did I do it at the right time? Because I'm a big timing person, and I think that timing has a lot to do with so many things in life. It felt like at the right time at that time, when I made that move, and I just kinda had to pull the trigger either way, and I took a gamble, and I'm not sure the gamble was it was probably equivocal. I don't know if it was because now he's, like, doesn't even operate for the love of God.
One thing I will tell you though, I was talking to so I have this employee and she's in her mid-20s and she's lovely and eager and excited and, wants to go out and solve healthcare, right? And I see a lot of myself back then in her, and it's been fun to mentor her, and one of the things we were talking about is she said, Faith, you're just so busy and you're always just flying around and you're working on all these things and you've got all these projects going. And how do you get stuff done? How do you get people to do what you want them to do?" And I'm like, it is all about relationships. 110%, it is about people trusting you, about you creating relationships, and about you being a trustworthy individual. And I said, one of the things that's so important, which is what I'm going to circle back about what you were just saying, is you have to exit in a positive way, in the fact that you leave on a good note so that you can then come back someday if the world needed you to come back, or you could have opportunities, or when opportunities arise, people think of you because you've left a positive moment for them. And she was like, "Okay." And I said, it's really important for you. You're like, this is your second job out of college. I was like, relationships at all levels. Get great relationships with your bosses, great relationships with your peers, great relationships with your physicians. Be confident in who you are. You will move mountains and you will always be okay. Right. And so, same for you. Like, timing at the time felt right. Maybe long term, it's not forever your fit, but because you have such amazing relationships along the way, including the relationship you left, you always have doors open to you, which is the most amazing part. And then you're in control, which is what we need.
I think I owe that to my father because my dad was always like, "Hey, never burn any bridges." Like, don't and if there's a bridge that you feel maybe you just don't wanna cross again, that's fine, just don't cross it, but don't burn it, right? Just don't burn it. Just don't cross it. Don't cross it. Know that you have another way, another path, use another bridge, just don't burn it. Whatever you do, just don't burn it.
And always
And
be kind,
and I think
even when you don't want to be kind. Be
yeah, and,
kind.
I think sometimes that's hard for me, but, like
It's important.
like, I almost got in a fight in the friggin' Costco parking lot in Inglewood, no less, the other day, I swear to
You
God.
and your Costco's.
Dude, seriously, I was patiently waiting for a friggin' spot, and some girl decides we're going, like, opposite way, and some girl just completely just goes into the spot, and I knew exactly what she was doing because we were basically, like, facing off, blinker. I'm going right, blinker right. I looked at her and I was like, "Hey, that's my spot, right?" And she looked like, I'm not gonna care." So, as soon as the car moves and I was trying to, like, figure out, like, how this car was gonna back out, and I'm like, "Okay, is the car gonna go back out? Like, is his butt gonna be to me? Is his butt gonna be the other way? Like, which way is gonna be better for me to get in this thing?" And so, it was better for her to go in, so she literally goes in, and she goes in kinda cockeyed because she didn't really have a great angle because she thought I was gonna come get it. Well, because we were kinda racing to it a little bit, and she got in cockeyed, and she needed to back up and straighten out, right? So I was like, "You know what?" I was Faith, I was so mad, I was so angry. I didn't park, I just pulled up right behind her, so she couldn't shimmy out and do this whole thing, right? And I just stayed there. I just stayed there, and it was it was, like, so ridiculous now that I think back about it. I was so angry, and she had someone in the passenger seat, and she wouldn't look at me. I was, like, staring. I wanted her to get out of the car because I wanted just, like I didn't even know what I was gonna say to her, right? But I was just so angry she didn't get out of the car. The person in the passenger seat didn't get out of the car. She still was cockeyed. She moved back just as much as she could move back without hitting my car, but I was literally, like, inches away from her car. I was that angry. And then I was like, "What are you doing? Like, come on. What are you doing? Like, you just stop being so ridiculous." And so there was a spot that came from behind me, and I literally backed my car into it. And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna come." On one side of my car, someone keyed it. I don't know why it's so rude. Like, I'm so nice. I never do anything wrong. I don't know why someone would key my car, but they keyed it. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna come out of Costco, and my other side of my car is gonna be keyed," because she was so. I was like, "This no, I'm like, "Is that like, was that really worth it? Like, did I have to really expend that energy and be like that girl?"
Yeah.
Like, that
Well,
girl.
did you
I mean,
awkwardly see this person all through Costco?
well, no, that's the other thing. I was like, "Great, now I'm gonna run into this girl in Costco, and we're gonna, like, bump shopping carts, and she's gonna throw some, like, friggin' I don't know, chicky at me or some shit," you know what I mean? Like, burn
Like
me with the
tossing
chicken
chickens.
juice. Yeah. It's like, oh my god, here I am. Like, this is why sometimes I do not like the Inglewood one because
Right?
it's hardcore. It is
Yeah.
hardcore.
I've heard it's a bit
Much
I've
not
heard it's a bit
much prefer
hardcore in
the
Inglewood.
Manhattan Beach one or the Marina Del Rey one. Like, I much prefer deal with people Lululemon Army than, like, the Inglewood crowd because
Why do you
it's
go to the
rough.
Inglewood one? What is
Well
that Inglewood that
well,
you need?
I went to Bugs Game, and it was in La Mirada, and it was off the 105, so, as I was coming home, I already missed my nail appointment because it was, like, an hour and 10 minutes or something, so I was like, "Oh, great, I just missed okay, fine, whatever." So, as I'm coming back, I'm like, "I'm just gonna go off the 105 and go to the Inglewood Costco, I'm right there." That's why I went.
Oh my god. So you didn't need anything.
Well, I did, I needed dog food. I needed, probably not, but I needed to go to Costco because it was my day to go to Costco. That's why I went
Oh
to
my
Costco.
god.
So I was like,
That's so funny.
seriously, like, I just gotta chill out. Like, I don't know, like, what was and I thought back, I was like, "Oh my god, I wish that somebody" like, I wanted someone to be looking at this thing and being like, "Okay, what's gonna happen now? Who's gonna
People are
get is
filming
this
you.
yeah, is this girl gonna get out? Like, is this girl gonna jack her? Is this girl gonna get a razor
Well,
blade?"
you see that stuff all the time on social media.
I know, and I
Yeah.
was like, "I'm gonna be that person on the local news, be like, some girl in an Audi Q5."
This Karen hopping out of her
Totally. Oh my
Q5.
god, so funny. So someone was like, "Oh my god, you were being a Karen." I'm like, "What is the Mexican Karen equivalent? What what's that name? Who's that name?"
I don't know. I only know Karen.
I know, but there's
And
gotta
I
be,
try
like there's gotta be a cultural equivalent.
the thing is people are you're light-skinned enough. People just are gonna assume you're a Karen.
Oh, yeah, but listen, I can get dirty when I my roots can come out if I need to. My roots can come out if I need to.
It's so funny, like, I consciously make sure that I behave in public at all times because I'm
I
so scared of
usually
being
do.
a Karen.
I
I'm, like,
usually
so
do.
scared of it because I'm the 40-year-old white woman that everybody's like, "There's a Karen."
Whatever the Mexican equivalent to that Karen is, I was that person.
Dear
I
Google, what is the Mexican equivalent
Same thing when I
for
went to go
Karens?
get did I tell you about so I have to trade in my car? My lease is gonna be up in September. I thought it was gonna be up in March. This is a typical story. So I 3 years ago, Michelle was down, and we went to the Santa Monica Audi because I do a lease, and it's just easier to turn in and get a new one, and I did not like the finance manager guy. The finance manager guy was, like, terrible, and I didn't throw a fit, but I threw a fit, and so I'm with Michelle, and I was like, "You know what? I don't care. I'm just not gonna get a car from you. I'm gonna go to the Beverly Hills one." And so I literally did, but it was I didn't make a scene, but I was made it known that I wasn't gonna have it, right? And I didn't care if I was gonna spend $1,000 more, but I just was not gonna give this guy my business. And so I pick up, I go to the Beverly Hills, and I wasn't really happy with Beverly Hills anyways, but I didn't I was too proud, right? I was no way I was gonna go with my tail between my legs and go back to Santa Monica Audi. Okay, so I get my car and I do a 36-month lease or a 42-month lease or something like that. So I grab the girls and I'm like, "Hey, you guys wanna go car shopping today after I go to Costco?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, we can go to brunch or whatever." So we go back to the Santa Monica Audi. and and I'm like, "Oh, I think my lease is up. I'm not sure." And he's like, "Oh, well," I'm like, "I got it at Beverly Hills." And he looks at me and he's like, "Wait, I I remember you." And I'm like, "You do?" And the girls were like, "Oh my god, what?" That was like 4 years ago. What the heck, right? And I was like, "Oh, yeah." I go, "Is that guy still here?" And he's like, "He is." And I was like, "Well, then fi done deal." Like, he's like, "But we can we can do another finance manager if you want to." I was like, maybe," but I have to go back kinda closer to September because it's not up till September anyway. And I was like, "Oh my god." So we're walking out and they're like, "What the hell did you guys do? Like, what the hell did you do? You walked into this Audi," and they were like, "Oh shit, oh shit." So like my face, I'm sure is gonna be at all these Audi dealerships like, "Beware." Like, beware of this woman. Because I was like, "Fine, I'm just gonna go down to Torrance. I'm just gonna go down to the Torrance one. Screw you guys."
I've lost a lot of weight and I'm trying to be my best version of myself, or my mom has Alzheimer's and I don't want to be down that road. I'm scared, right? So, like, what is their reason that brought them to that appointment in the beginning? And how do we help, educate, rule out, whatever it is that we're doing to what motivated them to be there in the first place? And that's going to be part of it as well.
Yeah, and I think that that's huge. I also think too that we can do better in medicine, and again, maybe this is a platform for that, but I do think that a lot of this, as we talked about screenings, People go to the doctor, get your annual physical, get your vaccinations. There's a political plug there, but do what you're supposed to do. There's recommendations at certain ages for certain reasons. And if you have a family history, then that recommendation maybe is at 25, not at 40. So listen to those recommendations because the screening tools that we have now that are covered by insurance, the screening tools now that are recommended because of XYZ in your family, those can be covered, at least a portion of, and you can get a lot of information and a lot of good information of those things that are still within reason, and I think that if we all figured that out, it's like we're too busy to do that. And you're right. We go to the doctor when we're sick and we don't feel well. Well, how about just doing your physical? We do it with kids. We do it when they're babies. We go 3 months, 6 months, get their injections, get their vaccinations, go do a yearly, do 2 years, milestones, all those sorts of things, right? You do it when you're babies.
Yep, we do it for our cars, right? Like, you think about how many things you take regularly. And I am a big prevention person, and I've made sure I always am on top of my screenings, but people think I'm crazy. They're like, "You're 42 and getting a mammogram? You have no family history." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that's proposed when I should have started my screening, so that's when I start my screening, and that's when I do it," right? Same with the pap smear. I go every time because you should do it.
There's not a lot of education, there's not a lot of push for it, honestly. There's more push to, like you said, get your oil changed, and there's more push to make sure that, your heaters are your vents are clear or something, whatever it is, your gutters are clear.
The funniest thing is the biggest vehicle in your life is you, right? And it's mental health checks, it's prevention health.
No one talks about mental health. They should, but they don't. I think it's getting better. But I do think that there's a whole avenue too of meditation and breathing. Every night we'll listen to meditation, and whether or not it's a tenth of it gets into Tommy's head, I'm fine. Subconsciously, positive affirmations, positive self-talk, neutral talk, healing yourself. He'll get hurt at baseball and I'll say, listen, imagine a white light on that spot, healing it. Like just do it. I mean, that's it. You have a bruise, imagine manifest it, see it, feel it, do it.
Part of meditation that's so important, I just learned how to start to meditate with COVID because I was so burnt out professionally, and I needed to do change something because work was I was burnt out. It's the first time in my years of my career that I didn't love what I was doing anymore, and I knew that my mental health wasn't where I wanted it to be, right? And so part of that was doing some meditation to learn how to quiet down, like. This head is going nonstop all day long. So my goal literally with my Jason red light mask on, every night for 10 minutes, I have that red light mask on and I do 10 minutes of just, quiet breathing and internal meditation. I used to listen to like the Calm app, but now I just can, calm my own breathing and think through my, breathing and relaxing your body. But it's so important to like reset that battery, right? Turn that computer off for a little bit, especially our brains. They go nonstop. The amount of mental load that's in there is bonkers all day long.
Yeah, mine is nonstop. It doesn't stop, doesn't stop. It is, and it bounces here, there, everywhere, and then I'm
Yeah.
thinking of one thing, and also I'm like, "Oh, shit.
At what age will you teach Tommy how to do his own laundry?
Don't ask me those ridiculous questions because he's 13 and he should know how to do it already." But as long as my mother's alive, he's never gonna have to do his laundry ever.
Did you have to do chores when you were a child?
No, not really.
My husband as well. He said it was really kind of a Latin thing with his.
I think whether it's a Latin thing or whether I'm just not good at it, Mexicans, I'm Mexican, so I can say this. Mexicans, a lot of that I know are very clean and, everything's sanitary and they wash their dishes right after they do whatever. Not me. That completely skipped me. Yes, I have someone who comes in and cleans the house. Thank God. She's a godsend. I mean, good. I'm just not good at it. And everyone's like, well, I bet you'd be really good at it if you really tried. And honestly, I've tried and I'm just not good at it. It's just, Chad's a very excellent cleaner. Like when Chad cleans, Chad does a good job. Like it's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, how did you do that? Like he's amazing. But yeah, no, my mom picked up after me and my shower doors were squeegeed and my t-shirts were ironed. Same thing with my sheets. Like we had someone come and iron everything because mom didn't like, and she got it from her mom too. So my grandmother was that way too.
Yeah,
It
that's so
just
funny.
completely skipped me. It's like,
Johnny said the same thing. Him and his siblings were not required to learn chores. They were not required to do all of that stuff until they got older, right? And opposite, we did all the chores in our house, and that was a really big thing that my parents made us from really little learn how to do chores and do laundry and all that stuff. So during COVID, when I was working a million hours a day, I'm like, "Hey, these kids have to learn how to do their own laundry." And my husband was like, "Oh my god." So, yeah, so 5 years ago, this household learned how to do their own laundry, and I've never taken it back. But what comes with that is I can't have control. I cannot have control. I cannot look in their rooms. I cannot see the way they do it because it's not the way I would do it, and so then I want to take it back, but my mental health and my, like, life cannot handle taking it back, right? So, I've had to learn if I hand or delegate a chore to someone else, that I just have to be okay with the way that it gets done, which has been a journey in my life because I am fairly clean, so and organized.
so remember the saddle PE, okay? Father-in-law, Kansas, saddle PE. He's on Eliquis. Remember I said to you that he was shaving with the regular razor, and we're like, "Yeah, no go," right? Okay. No, he didn't cut himself and bleed to death, but he did go to the farm by himself and falls.
Oh, no.
This happened in April Fools. So Betty sends us a text, the 3 of us a text, my husband and his sister-in-law, my sister-in-law, and was like, "No, this is not April Fools. Just got home from the emergency room. Dad went to the farm and fell." So he falls and he cuts his ear.
Like a big cut or a little
I
cut?
didn't see the cut because they shouldn't they you should see this picture. The picture is Les sitting down with, like a brain bandage wrapped around his head because it is covering his ear. Needed stitches, bled like crazy, did not stop bleeding, couldn't stop the bleeding, drives to the emergency room, so they stitch it, and I guess there was one area that they couldn't really stitch very well, so he has this bandage in there basically like he has to stay put, and I'm sitting there going, "Well, I mean, listen, if he dies, he would at least be on the farm, and that's where he'd want to go, but, like, this man."
The man survives all these blood clots and then is gonna die by a cut on the ear that he bleeds out from. That's so morbidly terrible. You know, it's like all these things are gonna take him out and they don't, and then he dies of like an ear scrape.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what the ear looks like. I mean, how do you sew an ear? I sew people all the time. I don't know how you would sew an ear. I mean, think about that hard cartilage.
Oh, well, I also am curious, like, I guess you're gonna have to share with me at some point. Like, is it like, was his ear flapping down? Was it a tiny cut on the ear? Was it like the cartilage
Not
and
like a dog ear.
maybe, maybe if it's like the cartilage and it's like falling off.
I don't know, I'll have to see, but I was definitely not gonna have mother-in-law take the bandage off of his brain and his head and show me, so I'll have to see we'll have to see if Betty can take some pictures when.
The hard part is like, no, hey, please watch out for, don't do these things. Is it go to the farm? That's not one of your please watch your activity level.
What do you do, right? Like, the man cannot stay at home and stay put. Like, the farm is his zen, and the farm is his thing, and it's kinda like, you're right, you survive these crazy blood clots, just let me go to the farm. I just wanna enjoy the farm.
But what caused them to fall?
Well, he's got neuropathy, when it has, like, he's got very bad nerves. He had spinal surgery for very bad spinal stenosis, which ended up in neuropathy, so this numbness kinda in his feet, and I think that that's where the origination of the blood clot happened because he didn't really have much feeling, and I don't think really moves well. He always was complaining that his, legs felt like they were in blocks of stone as he walked. So I'm assuming he just lost his balance and, it's the same thing too. I When I educate my patients all the time, I'm like, "You never know how many things you drop until you're told you can't pick them up, until you're told not to pick up things from the floor." Same thing. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
Poor guy. I feel bad we're laughing about it, but at the same time, he's healthy, he's okay, he's got his ear stitched up.
That's a what the fuck moment for sure.